The market is volatile. The stocks keep going down. Then boom, we hit new highs. Everything is different now, but you don't gotta chase. Don't panic, don't stress. Time to realign, plan it out, invest. It's the First Fruits Podcast. We elevating with the First Fruits Podcast. No time for waiting, time to grow, give back, reinvest like that. Everything you need to know, the First Fruits Podcast. Let's go.
Man, welcome to another episode of the First Fruit Stock Club. Yeah, back again here every Wednesday. Should be here at 10 o'clock. Some things happen to make it here at 10, but I'm here. I'm here every week to talk about stocks, man. Talk about stocks. Man, stocks, investing is important. I come here every week. If you don't know me, my name is Donald Green, and I'm the founder of the First Fruit Stock Club, and this is my podcast. The First Fruit Stock Club is a club for investors who are guided by a very specific strategy called First Fruit Strategy. And people usually listen to the podcast, or people come in the club is for probably two main reasons. The first reason is that they're trading, and they've tried trading, they've done trading before, and they've been very inconsistent. The First Fruits formula allows you to be more consistent and generate consistent income, right? Consistent income that you can withdraw out of your brokerage account if you want to. All right. Secondly, people who want a second source of income, right? You've tried different things. Things take a lot of time. Trading does not take a lot of time, right? And the club does not take a lot of your time. So you may be a very busy individual, and but you want more money, you want more income, right? And you know that your job, you can only generate a certain amount of income, and once you hit that ceiling, that's it. So understanding and having another source of income is a reason. So before I go forward, please, I ask everyone to like, subscribe, and share the information. Like, subscribe, and share. Today I'm going to discuss what's the number one skill you need to have to be a trader. The number one skill. All right. So before I get into that, the First Fruit Stock Club is for information. Start with a disclaimer. The First Fruit Stock Club is for information, educational information purposes only. It should not be considered financial, investment, tax, legal advice. The views expressed by the host and the guests are of their own and do not reflect the opinions of any financial institution or regulatory authority. Investing in stocks carries risk, including potential loss of principal. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Always conduct your own research and consult with a licensed financial professional before making any investment decisions. The First Fruits Stock Club and its affiliates do not guarantee any specific outcomes or returns. By listening to this podcast, you acknowledge that you are responsible for your own investment decisions. So, man, this has been a busy month in the market. And so what I try to do is I try to get on here, and my goal in the club is, man, I want to help individuals have a $10,000 month. Should say August. All right. I got to talk to my editor. That's me. $10,000 a month in July. And we do that 3 ways, right? I have a formula of investing in dividend stocks. And through dividend stocks, the goal is to hit $3,000 to $4,000. A lot of people in the club are working on getting to $3,000 to $4,000 per month in income, right, from the dividends. And once we hit that $3,000 to $4,000 a month in dividends and income, then also trading, right? Trading, we trade options, leap options. I will admit, well, as I said last month in July, I did initially hit the $5,000 goal, but I gave it back to the market, which I should not have. I had an option on Meta that went berserk like 160% right before earnings. And now Meta's in all types of issues, but I was able to get in and out of that trade. But did what I shouldn't have done and gave the money back to the market. Should have sat on the money, collected dividends for the rest of the month, and watched my portfolio go up. That should have been what my month looked like. But of course, sometimes as traders, we're more confident than we should be. And at that time, I should have just taken the money out of the market. July, the rest of July beat me up. August is very, very inconsistent. This has been a tough month, tough time trading. But the great thing about us and my formula is that we get a chance to start over every week or every month, right? Dividends usually paid on a weekly basis. So if I have a bad trade, guess what? I have dividends coming in, giving me more money to start over to replenish my account, and so I can put more options in. All right. And right now, what I'm talking about the club is being very defensive right now, and I'll show you what I mean. Being very defensive. So what we have to do as traders and as investors, if you're new, is we have to have a market map, right? A market map allows us to identify where we are, right? And where we're trying to go. We're trying to hit that $10,000 market. And what happens is there's obstacles in our way. The first obstacle was CPI, the Consumer Price Index, which looks at the prices of goods. And what happens is they reported, and it went pretty well today because there were no really surprises about CPI, right? CPI is important because if consumer prices go up, guess what? The Federal Reserve say, oh, we need to increase interest rates. What the Federal Reserve does, one of the mechanisms is called mechanisms that they have to reduce interest rates is, to lower inflation is to increase interest rates, increase the price of borrowing, right? Decrease the price of borrowing, and therefore, less loans, things cost more expensive. People won't then go out and spend as much, right? And, it's something else, for the economy, there is a middle road that we want to have in the economy where we have just enough spending, right? Where it doesn't become inflationary, where people have to raise prices too much. Because if people, for example, if you owned a restaurant and you had all these people coming to your restaurant and you have the opportunity, and businesses do this all the time. That's one of the reasons why the stock market is where it is, and the reason why businesses make so much the profits are so great in regards to companies in the stock market, because the demand is so high. And because the demand is high, like you have to come to them for a particular product or service, you can't get that product or service going anywhere else. Therefore, they have the right and the option to raise prices to slow down demand so they don't have to hire as many people. And because, demand is great, but demand can increase your expenses as a company. All right? You want just enough demand that you can supply the demand, right? You don't want to have to hire extra staff that costs you. You want to stay in budget with the materials, whatever you're making, or the amount of people, the materials. You want everything to kind of be even kill. You don't want, drastic upticks or downticks in your business. You want a consistent flow of business. Because customers can put you out of business. Too many customers can put a business out of business, right? They can't keep up with demand. The service goes down. and then people lose interest, and the business just goes out of order. So having an even kill in regards to supply and demand is very, very important in business and in the economy. And the Federal Reserve is always looking at that gauge. CPI is one of the things that allows them to say, hey, look, prices, prices aren't really increasing that much, right? Because demand isn't really there. So, and the report that came out was pretty even kill. So they didn't, now you really don't have to worry about the result of the Federal Reserve deciding to raise prices, which I didn't think, or raising interest rates, right? And I don't really think they're going to raise interest rates in September anyway. A lot of people were saying that, hey, they're going to raise interest rates in September. I didn't think so, but September isn't here. You don't know what's coming up, but likely I don't think they're going to raise interest rates. But that's real important. That's one of the things we have to navigate in regards to trading, right? Dividends, right? Dividends are great because you can kind of sit back and collect, and then you can also add to your dividend positions where you're not really worried as the price. I mean, yes, you want the price to go up if you own a fund or a stock, but you're really owning the stock or fund for cash flow, for income, right? And so as long as you're getting paid income, guess what? That you're really okay with that. So this is the type of market where you can just, collect income, collect extra checks that will be deposited into your brokerage account, and sit and wait for opportunities for better investments. I'm in a trade right now, Apple trade, and I'll bring it up next week. And we started out plus 30. I should have took my money off the table, but I did not. And now we're down 30 like that. But so what I talk about in the club is we have opening positions. Opening positions is we have a few contracts and we test the position out. And from my experience, if a position is going to go positive, meaning the price you pay for your contract, you're going to be able to get 50, 60, 70, 80%. It usually happens right away, right? It starts having small gains. But if a contract usually turns negative right away, that's my indication that I put the trade in. It may have been a great idea, but the wrong time, or the reverse, right? So therefore, we have to be cautious and putting in smaller trades. And I just what I call my club is an opening trade. Hey, I'm telling everybody, look, I'm in the chat, I'm building an opening position in this. Opening position means a few contracts. I'm letting everybody, hey, let me see how it goes. If it's going well and I feel like it's building up momentum, that's when I give the information to the club. Hey, this is moving. Like initially with Facebook, with Meta, it initially, like the day after, went up like 130%. It's crazy. Went up 130%, and I wanted the club to get in it, but then the next day it went down. And I was like, man, this is crazy. Like 2 days. But then right before the earnings report, the stock went up again with this report about Meta looking into getting into the business of lending out its what is it? Gosh, can't think of the name. Memory, lending out access to his memory. So we'll with Meta. I mean that it turned out great, but I guess every trade is different. But usually, from my experience, they will. If it's a great trade, it'll be a great trade from the beginning. Now, some trades have gone down, right, and have come back and just give you like basically you're on a ride. That happens. But the last 2 months been really hard in regards to that $5,000 portion. Trying to hit that goal. Really, I hit it last month, but I gave it back. But this month, just starting out, I really haven't had too many things that I've had interest in to trade. So I'm kind of taking a defensive stance in the market right now. All right. So when I look at the market, I'm looking at 4 environments: risk off, risk on, and that's really market structure, right? Really market structure. Are the stocks hitting higher highs or lower lows, right? And the I guess the verbiage that I use is a little bit different, but it's basically, is the market hitting, if it's risk on, the market is hitting higher highs and higher lows. Now, if it's risk off, it means lower lows, right, and lower highs. And usually when a market is risk off, it doesn't matter what you do. No matter what the trade is, no matter the idea, whatever, everybody's selling, right? Which is, if we can judge when that will end, then that becomes a great time for us to enter other trades in the market, right? That proves great for us. So what I like to do is I like to look at the SPY, the S&P 500, and I judge the SPY. And right now we're kind of in, I think we're in this range. I think we're in, if we look back, there's two points on the chart of the SPY, which is in the last 90 days. I like looking at 90-day chart, 3-month charts. And we have a bottom of 725.43. I need to change those numbers to a lot. That was last week. And then we have a high of 773.26. I believe that we're going to go back down to 725. That's why I'm getting kind of defensive. And in the club, we're going to talk about putting together a defensive portfolio. But I think we're going to test that 725, that bottom of 725 in the market. It's a lot going on in regards to the war. This is just one of those environments, kind of a undecided to more risk on. I don't see a whole lot of support in the market to support it to go higher. I think that that's why I think that we in the S&P 500, the SPY, we could hit that low. All right, we could hit down to that 725. So as I discussed, and what I wanted to discuss today is that, man, is the best, right? Right? And to answer that question, the best traders are traders who know how to save, right? This is a great time, because the market is real undecided right now. This is a great time to go back to the basics. I know a lot of times we talk about trading, especially if you're on Instagram. You got trading, you got real estate, you have business. All in all of them, you could be great at any of those things, but you need to be able to do one thing. And as a trader, I believe that this is the number one skill as a trader. And that is knowing how to save. Right? Knowing how to save. It isn't sexy. It isn't some super complicated strategy. It isn't some, I found out this, and I've heard people say, well, I used to work for the CPI. I mean, I used to work for the CIA, and I had this super trading strategy. It's none of that. It's not sexy, but it's needed. Saving is a skill. It's a skill set, right? That a lot of people I see today don't have. Everybody's borrowing money, doing this credit card hack and that credit card hack. You just need to know how to save. Like, you don't have to buy everything, right? You don't have to buy everything, right? And as a trader, right, when we trade, if we can save, guess what? We have money available for opportunities when they come, right? The best opportunities come at times where you know, money is maybe run out of the market, the stock market, the economy is not doing well, having money set aside to be able to take advantage of what is presented to you in the market is the number one skill to have. If you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to invest in stocks, if you want to invest in real estate, knowing how to put cash up for a rainy day. I think it's a lost art. A lot of people don't know how to save. And this economy, I know it's tough. It's hard. Prices are going up. And what happens is the economy starts out easy for them. Not saying that during the virus, it was an easy time, but people had a lot of money. People had a lot of money, and this economy is great at making people pay the economy back. Like, people don't understand that you are operating in the greatest economy in world history, and you can't work here and earn money for free. It costs. A lot of people say, well, I work, I earn money. No. You have the right to live in a system that makes it accessible, makes money accessible, because we have a very vibrant middle class and we have jobs for that. And if we look at the jobs report at all-time low. So it's your responsibility. Like, no one tells you that. Is that, they say, well, hey, get a skill, get a job. No one tells you that you have to pay all that to get a job and earn an income. You then have to pay the system back for giving you the opportunity to have a job and to earn income. Well, you may say, Donald, well, I don't understand. Like, how does that work? It works through inflation, right? The system right now is telling you that, hey, it's time. It's my comeback. It's my. You didn't pay me enough, so I'm coming after. I'm coming after everything, and I'm increasing the prices of everything. It's how the system works. Now, what are you going to do? Not buy gas? Not buy food? Oh, right? You're still going to buy those things, but guess what? The money that you may have thought that you may have saved, well, guess what? Now it's not there. Or the extra funds you have to. That's why you have to reinvest back into the economy. You have to reinvest back into the economy. And this is one of the greatest lessons you need to learn, right? Especially when I go and talk to students, or if I'm going to detention centers and I'm saying, look, hey, it's the greatest economy in the world. But you have to, but the problem is that it's a bully, right? So you have to save, right? You have to save. And the best way to save, I like it, is saving through a brokerage account. Okay? Put money in a brokerage account. And guess what? Investing in stocks in an account that you control, especially stocks that can pay you dividends. And you also putting trading on top of that, and you work through those. Well, guess what? You then can fight back against the economy that overall or later on, it will always increase the prices. Prices will always outpace what you make. No one tells you that when you graduate. Hey, look, I know you got this salary, but your salary will never be able to keep up with the cost of things. Like, you're going to have to make double in the next few years to keep up your same standard of living. Like, no one tells you that. No one tells the kids that. And it's important that they find out. Right? So saving is a lost art. Saving, having money, putting money aside. So how do we do it? If prices are high, man, I started, I didn't know about saving. I thought I could spend whatever I have as And that's why I developed the club, the First Fruit Stock Club, right? And the basis of the club is your first fruits. The first dollars you earn are used to fight back against the economy. That's what it's used. It's used to fight back against the economy, right? And it does. You fight the economy back by investing to outpace inflation, by giving, right? To have an abundance mindset, giving a portion of your income away. All right. And not only does giving a portion of income away, guess what? You get a tax break for giving. Because yes, taxes are coming for you. I know that too well. Right? But saving is, as a title, is savers make the best traders. If you can't save, all right, it doesn't matter what strategy I give you because you're not going to have any money to take advantage of it. Doesn't matter. So you may disagree with me on this, but it is what it is. Savers make the best traders. You know how to put money aside. Prepare for the rainy day. So that is it for today, man. I thank you guys for joining me for the First Fruit Stock Club. And I'm here every Wednesday around 10 o'clock. And man, I think, this month has been a very up and down month, very undecided market in regards to the market personality that I always talk about. So in this market, we're just going to collect dividends and we're going to wait for opportunities. Man, until next time, I wish you all to be fruitful in your finances, in your life, and in everything you do. Thank you. Bye-bye.
The market is volatile. The stocks keep going down. Then boom, we hit new highs. Everything is different now, but you don't gotta chase. Don't panic, don't stress. Time to realign, plan it out, invest. It's the First Fruits